YouTube, what is up everybody? My name is Jeremy. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the channel. I haven't posted in forever. I don't know if I'll ever post again, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. So today we're going to be talking about how I customize my football helmets. But mainly this video is for all of you helmet collectors out there. You could take my advice if you don't want to. That's fine. I'm not a genius. I'm not a helmet collector guru. I'm just a guy that thinks helmets look cool. So if you guys want to take this advice and do it to your own helmet builds, or not, either way is fine with me. But mainly this was just so that I can document this for my future self, but I figured it might help some of you guys out as well of what my process is whenever I customize my football helmets. But this video is also for any Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Shout out you guys. And this video also could serve for any new helmet collectors out there that don't know where to get their supplies, how much it might cost. Collecting football helmets has honestly been some kind of hobby and project that I've kept up with, because honestly, when you think of football, what do you think of? CTE, but also you think of the football helmets. And any kind of equipment geek or just kind of football helmet hobbyist, it's really kind of a hobby that's fun, it's cool to get into. And this helmet that I'm going to be showcasing right now is a refurbished helmet that I bought used off of eBay. So without further ado, let's go get that helmet. So basically, I got this helmet off of eBay. I got it for about $55, I think. It is used. It is a Riddell Speed. It is a Riddell Speed. I don't know the name of the exact face mask. It came in gold, black face mask, and it is issued in 2024. So that does mean that it was recently used. This guy probably only used it for a year or so of actual play. So as I said, guys, this is a Riddell Speed. It came in gold. It's got a black face mask on it. It's honestly in pretty decent condition. I got this from eBay. Obviously, you can see a little bit of marks, but honestly, that's not that big of a deal. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off these stickers. We're going to paint that area. We're going to paint this all. And we're going to make it a matte black Pittsburgh Steelers build. All right, you guys. Well, since we've seen the helmet now, I can show you guys what my supplies will look like. And I'll try to do my best to show you guys where I got them and how much they cost. But as you guys probably know, sometimes supplies can vary. So obviously the first piece of supplies, the football helmet. And like I said before, this helmet cost $55 on eBay. That was including shipping, and I feel like that's a pretty good deal, especially because pretty much the cheapest football helmets you're gonna find that are used. And most of the time when I see them, they're at like Play It Again Sports for like $75 to $80. Next, obviously, you're gonna need your spray paint. So I got both of these from Home Depot. Now I did get these for a previous project, so I wouldn't put that into this project's category of price, but these did run me around $6 to $7 per can. And so for this project, I'm just gonna use the gloss black Rust-Oleum spray paint. Really just got this one because it's a paint and primer, because I'm kind of one of those like amateurs where I don't want to risk too much. I don't want to be like, oh, let me put on a bunch of layers of primer and all that stuff. And then I also got the Ultimate Ultra Matte 2X from Rust-Oleum. I previously got just a plain matte black from Rust-Oleum, but it wasn't really as matte or flat, I guess, as you would call it in the paint world. But this spray paint works really well. This is what I used for my previous project, and I'll show you guys a video of that later of what it is. Now, the next thing I got was the sanding sponge. I got this from Lowe's. This is from the Gator brand. It is a 320 grit sponge, but like I said, I'm one of those where I just don't like to risk anything in my projects, so 320 grit is perfect for stripping the paint. You know, it's fine to be able to have a grip for the new spray paint layers. So honestly, this works great. 320 grit sandpaper from Gator at Lowe's was about $4. Now the next thing I got was a bottle of this Goo Gone adhesive remover. As you can see on this helmet, I have one sticker right here, one sticker right here, and this back bumper sticker. And honestly, there usually is a warning label right here. And I'm telling you, anybody who has made a football helmet before and taken that sticker off can attest that you may lose an arm in that process, because it is genuinely one of the hardest experiences that you're ever going to have in a personal project. Like, you literally could come out of that project looking like Larry the Lobster on one hand because of how hard it is to be able to get that sticker off, because they're pretty much trying to make it as impossible as they can to try to get that sticker off, because obviously it's a warning label. You're trying not to get that off unless you're trying to make a personal project like this. So this adhesive remover works really well. A little tip for you guys: if a sticker is hard to get off, try to use like an old ID card, maybe something like a gift card that's expired or something. Trying to get that adhesive off is really hard using your nails or anything like that. So a gift card or something really helps trying to get that off. layer this Goo Gone on there. This cost me about $5 from Lowe's. This is the decals portion of our video, and as you guys can see, that includes the main stripe that goes down the center, and it also comes with an American flag, a warning label, and an NFL shield to go on the back of the helmet, as well as obviously the main side decal, a front bumper decal that should go over the Riddell logo, and this back bumper decal. This will go on the back bumper where the other Riddell logo is, so it'll just kind of go right over that. After I remove this Riddell sticker, I'm just going to put that right over that. And I got those decals from eBay, and they were about $20 for the whole set. And this will be a little touch that I am adding on to the football helmet, but this itself cost me about 15 bucks from eBay. And we'll have to put this on after we get the paint done. But I'm gonna leave the total on the bottom left corner of this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start making that helmet. So the very first thing that I'm gonna be doing for my helmet is just kind of stripping it of pretty much everything. I'm just gonna separate everything, the face mask, the nails and the screws, the padding. I'm gonna make the shell separate, the face mask separate, the padding separate, everything. All right, y'all, we have the shell and the face mask by itself. Pretty much the next thing that we're going to do in the process is going to be take these stickers off, then we can get down to sanding. All right, you guys, so we have taken off the stickers on the back here. We've got the Riddell back bumper right here on my desk that is completely stuck. But another thing that we did is we took off these little Riddell stickers. These were on the sides right here above the face mask. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take those off, and then we're gonna paint over, obviously the whole helmet. But we're gonna paint over that area, and we're gonna put some super adhesive on the back of these things, and then we're going to stick them back where they were, so it's going to look a little bit more authentic, like it's actually like ready to play in, even though it's not safe to play in. So the next step is just to sand, and we'll get back to it. All right, you guys, well, as you guys can see, no, I am not Dave Chappelle in that one SNL skit, but I did sand the helmet. I have sanded it with the 340 grit sandpaper, whatever I said earlier in the video. This is from the Gator brand. It is a 320 grit sponge. That's the sandpaper I used. So I grit this up. I made sure to get the edges really well. You want to make sure and do slow and long strokes because that always does the best job. This is kind of the job that I did. It did strip most of the paint. Typically, whenever you do sand something like this, if you come out looking like you just got out of a pool made with chalk, that's usually a pretty good sign. I also did the face mask as best that I could. A sponge is not a great way to get around the edges, but I mean, paint usually sticks pretty well to face masks. I'm gonna go ahead and wash these both in soap and water because you can do that. For both of these, I know I was scared to at first, but it does work. I'm gonna wipe down this table and I'm going to go ahead and give these things a rinse off. All right, you guys, we are all done with sanding and washing this helmet, and we also got the face mask while we're at it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait a couple of hours just for the water from rinsing this off to dry. And what we're going to do is we are going to spray the face mask with this gloss black spray paint, and we're going to spray the shell with this ultra matte black spray paint. Without further ado, let's go paint this bad boy. All right, y'all, so pardon the mess in the background, but we have our helmet set up on the tripod. I don't have anything kind of guarding the floor, but the spray paint should be fine. The face mask down here, I do have some protectant down there to protect it from hitting the floor. Shout out all the Bentons, by the way. Best grocery store ever. So I'm gonna get cracking on this thing. We got the helmet set up on the camera tripod right here. So again, like I said, what I'll do is having a matte black on the shell right here, and then what I'll have is a gloss black on the face mask down there. First things first, what I like to do is I like to kind of get the inside of the helmet first, black it out, or do whatever the main color is for that helmet. And then I like to do the edges of the helmet, so like the bumpers. And then I just like to do an all-around coat, and then kind of just go from there, see what else I need to add from it. And then the face mask, I kind of just do one layer of the front, flip it upside down, then do another layer on the bottom, and then just kind of fill in wherever I see it needs it. So like I said, let's get cracking on it. Just a tip, guys, make sure that you are wearing your face coverings. I'm gonna have my hoodie covering my face up, but definitely don't want to get the stuff in your lungs because that would be bad. But another tip, don't mix your spray paints. Make sure that you have the caps of the spray paints next to accordingly. Onto the face mask. Alright, y'all, so I just got the first layer done. Like I said, I just like to fill in the edges of the helmet and the insides of it just to make it a little bit more fluid whenever you put the pads on. That's what the face mask will look like. Definitely have to put probably another layer or so on, but once it dries, it'll look a little bit better. I'll see you guys later for layer 2. Alright, y'all, this is what the helmet is looking like after one coat of paint. Literally no different from the outside, but we got some of the edges painted. Hopefully that comes through alright. Looks decent, looks good. This is what the face mask is looking like. I might need to hit it again with another gloss layer because it's looking a little dry right there. But anyway, let's get to it. Alright, y'all, after the second layer of paint, we will come back out here to let it dry. Usually it's a little bit kind of like dark and shiny right now, but once it kind of layers over, once it kind of dries, it'll be a little bit more matte, obviously, because that's what we're going for. So far, not too bad. I'm gonna need to clean up some spots, like right there is a little bit too dry, but I've got something to show you guys, my last project. So I'm gonna let myself from 2 days ago take over from here. All right, you guys, while we're waiting on that to dry, we're gonna wait about 30 to 45 minutes. I wanna show you guys my last project. Now, as you guys might be able to tell by my shirt, I am a Jaguars fan. Duval. Now, as a Jaguars fan and helmet collector, I figured I'd take a lick.
What do you mean by that?
I figured I'd throw my hat in the ring to try my own version of the current NFL rivalries uniforms. So I figured I'd make my own concept version of this by doing this. Now check this out. This is my pride and joy. Literally, once I built this thing, I have not stopped looking at it. Alright, y'all, so this is how we are looking. We are looking good. Going to do probably one more layer. Maybe we might need another layer after that, but so far, so good. Probably will just need a third layer, but we'll kind of see how we go. This is how the face mask is looking. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Alright, so we've got the third layer of paint on, like I said, and like y'all saw before. This will obviously dry out and look a lot more flat than this sparkly black, but I kind of filled in some of the spots that were still sparkly and had some of the gold on it. Gonna be keeping an eye on that just to make sure the gloss comes out. But not too bad, not too bad. Kind of happy how this helmet's turning out, so we'll see y'all for layer 4. All right, y'all, layer 4. It's looking pretty good so far. Y'all, so we will let that dry out. So far the shell looking real nice.
Really nice.
Face mask looking pretty good. A couple more touch-up spots and I'll flip it over again, but so far so good. All right, y'all, after the last layer of paint, we are looking good. There's no missing parts. There's no leftover sparkles. The only thing is there's kind of small noticeable scratches on the helmet just from it being used. But to me, honestly, as long as it's not like too big of a scratch or anything like that, it kind of adds a little bit of life to the helmet. What we're going to do, we're going to bring this inside. We're going to put the pads back in it, decal it, put the face mask on, all that stuff. We're going to go inside and do all those things that I just mentioned. That I won't have to repeat. So see you guys inside. All right, y'all, welcome back. We have the helmet now inside. I believe we put 4 layers of spray paint on the shell and about 2 layers of spray paint total on the face mask. And honestly, it's turning out pretty well. I honestly kind of halfway through noticed that I could still see some of the sanding spots on the face mask and the shell. But honestly, I just kind of did another layer and I kind of shaded over. I don't know about y'all, but so like I said, now that we're done painting, now we can get to the assembly of the helmet. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put the screws in, because sometimes the screws are kind of hidden behind pads. And I'm going to put the pads in, then put the face mask, and then the decals in. But like I said, I have a little surprise. So what I'm going to do is, before I put this face mask on, I'm going to reveal what that surprise is. But first, let's get to work. Alright, y'all, so we have the screws in. Now all we need to do is just put the rest of the pads in for the full helmet, and then we'll see where we go from there. Alright, y'all, so we have the pads inside now, so all we need to do is attach the face mask as well as the surprise and the decals. So let's get to it. All right, and the big surprise for this Pittsburgh Steelers helmet is a shiny gold visor. So what I'll do is I'll put this on and we'll kind of see how it looks on the face mask. All right, y'all, so we have the screws in, and I also put the front bumper on just to kind of hold it in place, but we're going to be putting our decals under this bumper. But first, I want to show you guys the surprise. All right, this is the surprise. We have a gold visor for this helmet. This thing is going to look absolutely chef's kiss. It's going to look absolutely amazing. I got it from eBay for about $10, I want to say, so I'm really excited for it. And honestly, it came within like a week, so that's always a plus. Way more affordable than the ones that you get from like Oakley or something that are like $85 or something like that. All right, so the first thing I'll be doing is putting the center decal on. So how I'm going to be tackling this decal is I'm going to be starting the stripe down the middle, right above the back bumper, and there's kind of a visible line right directly in the middle. So what I'll do is just follow it down here. And then once I get down here to the front bumper, I'm going to cut it off and then tuck it under the front bumper. All right, so we got the stripe down. I don't know about y'all, but this looks like it is coming together. I'm going to put the back bumper on, and then we'll kind of look at some reference photos, and then we'll go from there. All right, y'all, so we got the back bumper put on. That took forever, but it was mostly just because these decals are a little bit harder to get on because sometimes the sizes don't match with the helmet, but I think it looks pretty good. All right, so the next decal we're going to get into is the NFL shield, the American shield, and the warning label. So what I'm gonna do is I'm looking at this reference photo from Green Gridiron, and what I'm looking to do is add the American flag right around here, right under the bump, next to the long stripe. So that's what I'm gonna try to do, and we're gonna see if it works. Awesome, so that's the American flag. Next, we're gonna work with the NFL shield. All right, y'all, so this is how we are looking so far. I'm satisfied with it. So next, all we got is the warning label and the decal. It did come with this front bumper sticker, but honestly, I kind of like the Riddell sticker because sometimes these don't really fit over the Riddell 3D bumper. So all right, so we got the warning label on there. Next is the Steelers decal. All right, y'all, that's the front decal. I'm liking it, y'all. I'm loving this helmet. If I was a Steelers fan, boy, I would be pulling out my credit card and throwing it in your face for this thing. I love football helmets, y'all. I don't know about you guys. I'm liking this thing. It looks so good. And once I put this face mask with the visor on, ooh! So let's go ahead and put that face mask on, and we'll be finished with this helmet. Dude, this thing looks absolutely insane. All right, y'all, we are done. All right, y'all, we are done. I'm so excited to show y'all this because, oh my gosh, this thing looks clean and crispy. So, thank y'all for this journey. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Without further ado, here's the final result.